You have tasted Dr. Pepper, probably hundreds of times. Now try to describe what it tastes like. Not cola, not root beer, not cherry, not vanilla, not licorice. The company says it is a blend of 23 flavors, but they have never told anyone what those flavors are. In 1966, the FDA ruled it is not a cola, not a root beer, not a fruit-flavored drink. Officially, it is its own category. But here's something that might surprise you. The drink that no one can classify just passed Pepsi to become the second most popular soda in America. And the reason it survived 140 years has everything to do with the fact that nobody can figure out what it is. In 1885, a pharmacist named Charles Alderton worked at Morrison's Old Corner drugstore in Waco, Texas. Every day he stood behind the soda fountain, surrounded by rows of fruit syrup bottles. Cherry, vanilla, amaretto, ginger. The smell of all those syrups mixing in the warm Texas air was something he could not get out of his head. So he tried to bottle it. Not a single flavor. The entire aroma. He spent months blending fruit extracts. When he finally landed on something, he offered it to his boss, Wade Morrison. Morrison tasted it and set the glass down. Then he asked for another. Customers started ordering the mystery drink by saying, "Shoot me a Waco." It spread to other soda fountains across town. But Alderton did not want the business. He was a pharmacist. He handed the formula to Morrison and walked away. Morrison named the drink after a doctor back in Virginia. The story goes that Morrison had courted this doctor's daughter and been rejected. Whether the name was a tribute or quiet revenge, nobody knows. What is known is that by the time Dr. Pepper debuted nationally at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, the same fair that introduced hamburgers on buns and ice cream cones, it was already the oldest soft drink in the country. Older than Coca-Cola by a full year. Here's the thing, nobody tells you. The 23 flavors have never been confirmed by the company. Not once in 140 years. The recipe is split into two halves, locked in two separate bank vaults in Dallas. No single person alive knows the complete formula, but independent analysis and historical documents suggest the blend includes amaretto, blackberry, caramel, cherry, clove, ginger, juniper, lemon, molasses, nutmeg, orange, plum, vanilla, and pepper, among others. Some lists even include carrot and tomato. The flavors are layered so precisely that none stands alone. You taste all of them and none of them at the same time. Manufacturing follows the same concentrate model as other major sodas. The secret syrup is produced at a central facility, then shipped to more than 50 bottling plants across the country. Each plant treats local water to exact mineral specifications, mixes the concentrate at precise ratios, carbonates it to around 3.5 volumes of carbon dioxide, and seals it within hours. Every batch gets tested against the original flavor profile using gas chromatography. A can from Texas should taste identical to a can from California. But here is where Dr. Pepper breaks every rule in the industry. It is distributed by both Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Not one or the other, both. About 45% of Dr. Pepper sales move through Coca-Cola bottlers. Another 35% through Pepsi bottlers. The rest through independent distributors. This is the only major soda brand in America that rides in both trucks. This happened because of that 1966 FDA ruling. The moment Dr. Pepper was classified as not a cola, Coca-Cola bottlers could legally distribute it without creating a conflict with their own product. Pepsi bottlers did the same. The drink that nobody could classify became the drink that nobody could refuse to carry. The numbers behind Dr. Pepper do not add up the way you would expect. It is the oldest major soft drink in America. 1885. Coca-Cola came a year later. Pepsi 8 years after that. The youngest feeling brand is the oldest. And during World War II, when sugar rationing nearly killed the soda industry, Dr. Pepper funded a study proving worker energy dips at 10, 2, and 4. That convinced the government soft drinks were essential. One slogan kept every soda company in America alive. Even the Beatles owe it something. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was originally Dr. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. McCartney changed the name when he learned it was trademarked. Here's where the story flips. In 2024, Dr. Pepper quietly passed Pepsi to become the second best-selling soda in the United States. 8.3% market share. The brand that spent 140 years as the weird third option overtook one of the two most famous names in the industry. Then, in December 2025, a TikTok creator posted an 11-second homemade jingle. 54 million views. Dr. Pepper licensed it and aired it during the college football playoff. The most unclassifiable soda now has the most organic marketing in the business. Dr. Pepper was never supposed to win. It had no cola base to anchor it in the mainstream, no clear category to file it under, no single owner with deep enough pockets to fight the wars that Coca-Cola and Pepsi waged for a century. It was always the odd one on the shelf, and that turned out to be the advantage. Because Coca-Cola and Pepsi were so busy fighting each other, neither paid enough attention to the strange little soda from Waco that tasted like everything and nothing at the same time. It slipped into their bottling networks. It sat on their fountain machines. It showed up at their football sponsorships. While they defined themselves as opposites, Dr. Pepper defined itself as something else entirely. A pharmacist who loved the smell of his own drugstore mixed 23 flavors into a glass and walked away. He did not care about building an empire. He just wanted to capture something he could not name. 140 years later, that nameless thing is the second most popular soda in America. And still, nobody can tell you what it tastes like. Next time someone hands you a Dr. Pepper, take a sip and try to name the flavor. You will not be able to. That is the whole point. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.